Hi everyone, welcome back. We're with Gene Mancebo, and Gene, and he's the general manager of the Amador Water Agency. Are we looking at that picture, Alan? Why don't we go back to the older looking one and bring that one back? The one that looks like they probably would have had back in Amador maybe 100 years ago. There we go.
Right.
So tell us about this, Gene.
Well, this is a great diagram to kind of give you some idea of what you might have expected a little hydro unit to work. In this particular case, you have water running like down a stream, turn a big paddle wheel. That paddle wheel turns an axle or a generator, and then that generator is actually producing power. And this is, kind of a crude drawing, but it really demonstrates what is happening. The water turns a wheel, turns a generator, makes power.
Right. We've all seen movies of old-time Europe or whatever, the mill next to the creek and the wheel in there, taking advantage of the water pressure, the flow, and everything. And of course, Night Foundry, that was run by water. Running things by water is probably one of the wind and water. That goes back to our ancient history.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it goes way back. I mean, and I think in the current photo that's up, a little animated shot. It shows water going from like maybe a lake, like Lake Taboo, to Tanner Reservoir, and in between, if we can put a propeller in that pipeline that'll turn a shaft, then we can turn a generator and make power.
I was talking to you, and you had pointed out, and also since you're like an engineer, and you said, well, anywhere we have to reduce pressure, it's a perfect thing to be able to put in, because that does take some of the energy out.
Right. I mean, when we have water, pressures are fairly great in a pipe. That's an opportunity to extract energy and really reduce that pressure in the pipe. But the water flowing has energy in it, and all we're doing is tapping into that rather than wasting that energy. It can be costly. I mean, some of the equipment can be expensive, but we believe that by doing this, then we can generate power that we use at our treatment plant. So instead of paying PG&E, we're going to generate the power and use it right there on site.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's not scare people like we're going to put these in all over, because I kind of brought that up, and you're not. In fact, this is. Let's talk about the specifics of this. This is going to be right by Tanner, right at almost where the water comes into the reservoir. Why don't you tell us about it? Okay,
well, what's going to happen is we're actually going to put a couple of devices. They look almost like a pump and a motor, but it's really kind of a inside the pipe. There's the water will turn a turbine, and it'll turn a device. It'd be a generator. It looks like an electric motor just running in reverse.
Right.
We'll be able to produce probably over 500,000 kilowatt hours a year. And that will supply the needs of our office, our treatment plant, our maintenance building, and we pay right now about $73,000 a year in electricity for those sites. This will be able to produce the power to meet those needs.
Kind of interesting. This one's almost the same amount of money that the GSL was going to save. I believe that was about $80,000, and this is about $73,000.
Well, this is a little bit smaller than the GSL. The GSL we paid at one point, we're up to about $300,000 in electrical costs.
Okay.
So this is a little bit bigger. It took more energy to pump that water up out of the river than what we have here in this particular case. But as we move forward with this and through a loan from the county, we'll be able to keep the costs down for the loan on this, and our payment back to the county is about almost exactly the same as the power that we're paying to PG&E currently.
Gene, I'm going to ask you a question here. Why does the water agency go to the county for loans? How does that work? I mean, it goes to the county a lot for loans.
Well, we looked at different options, but the county has a water supply fund that was specifically set up to pay for types of water infrastructure, water and wastewater infrastructure, including small hydro type projects. And
okay.
So this was a good fit. And, we are paying an interest rate, actually more than what the county is making on their money today. But yet it's less money than if we went out to a private firm or a bank. So it's a win-win situation. They're able to make more money on their interest, and we're able to save money by not paying the higher interest from an outside organization.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question. Good ideas sometimes come from other places. Is there another area that used this, to put this in, that maybe the water agency saw, said, why don't we follow suit?
We do have another site down near Ione where water goes all the way from the Tanner Reservoir site off of Ridge Road all the way down just outside of the city of Ione, where we'd have water to go to another treatment plant. And we're certainly looking at that. It would probably be the next site that we might be considering.
Okay, we've got about 2 more minutes. Anything more you'd want to explain about this? When will this project, has the board decided to do this?
Well, what's happened currently is the board has authorized the agreement for a loan. The board has authorized to do some design and environmental work on this project, so we're going to be initiating that. Also, we were successful in having about a $140,000 grant through an incentive program through the state and through PG&E that'll help also offset the costs associated with this project. So we're excited about it. We think it's the future of something that we need to be considering for our customers as we go forward, to be more self-sufficient.
How soon could this, if you don't hit any roadblocks, be put into the system?
You know, we're probably at least a year and a half away, I think, before we'll actually see something happening. It could even be 2 years, but that's the kind of time frame I think we're looking at before we start producing power.
Okay. Well, got about another minute. You want to talk to the ratepayers or anything?
No, I'd like to emphasize that to use water wisely. We're very concerned. Our board will be meeting and discussing about what the outlook looks like for Amador County and our customers particularly. We're also very interested in what's happening with private wells. You know, in the past we've seen problems with wells. What can the water agency do for those customers? We're going to be discussing that to see what we might be able to do if there are problems with the wells as we go into this very dry season.
Okay. Thanks, Gene, for coming by.
Great. Thank you.
It's good talking with you one more time, and thanks for tuning in to TSPN, and there's more coming up, so stay on TSPN. We'll see you.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.